Hey everyone! If you're a developer and you've spent most of your career in the structured, predictable world of relational databases, you've definitely seen that the ground is shifting. Today, we're going to dig into a whole different way of thinking about data, NoSQL, and we'll focus on a real powerhouse in this space, Amazon DynamoDB.
So here's the game plan. We'll kick things off by looking at why our trusty old databases sometimes just hit a wall with modern apps. Then we'll talk about the solution that popped up, NoSQL. After that, we'll zoom in on Amazon DynamoDB. I'll show you how to play around with it for free on your own machine, and then we'll walk through spinning up your very first table in the cloud. It's going to be fun.
All right, first up, let's talk about the core problem. Look, relational databases are amazing. They're not going anywhere. But the things we're building today have totally different needs, and that created some real challenges that called for a brand new approach to data.
And it's a perfectly fair question, right? I mean, for decades, relational databases have been the absolute backbone of software. So what gives? Why did we suddenly need to look past the world of tidy rows and columns we all know so well?
Well, you can really see the contrast here. The old way of doing things involved long development cycles and data that was pretty predictable. But modern apps, totally different beast. We build them in quick, agile sprints. We often use a service-oriented architecture. Building big apps out of lots of smaller, independent services. When you combine that with the need to scale up massively in the cloud, that rigid structure of a traditional database really starts to feel the strain.
And then there's the data itself. Oh man. As developers, we're not just handling neat, structured data anymore. We're dealing with semi-structured stuff like JSON, completely unstructured blobs of text, and even polymorphic data, where items in the same collection can look totally different from each other. Trying to shoehorn all of that into a strict table schema, it's like that classic square peg in a round hole problem. It's just awkward and super inefficient.
Okay, so with those problems laid out, let's pivot to the solution that started gaining steam. The whole NoSQL movement wasn't about throwing out relational databases. It was about having the right tool for the right job. And these new jobs needed a new kind of tool.
You can say NoSQL databases were basically born out of necessity. They're non-relational models built from the ground up for how we build apps today. The whole philosophy is about speed, massive performance at scale, high availability, and resilience. And a big part of how they achieve that is by often ditching the requirement for a formal schema, which gives developers a ton of flexibility.
So now that we kind of get the what and the why of NoSQL, let's get practical. Let's talk about one of the biggest players in the game, Amazon's DynamoDB.
So, DynamoDB is what's called a fully managed NoSQL service. Fully managed is a huge deal. It means AWS handles all the nasty stuff, like provisioning hardware, setup, and scaling, so you can just focus on your code. It's also super flexible. It can act like a key value store, think of a massive, incredibly fast dictionary, or a document model where you can just toss in complex objects like a whole JSON file. This makes it perfect for apps that need data like right now, at any scale.
And honestly, one of the best things about it, especially when you're just getting your feet wet, is the price tag. The AWS free tier for DynamoDB is, wow, it's really generous. You get 25 gigs of storage every single month, plus 25 read capacity units and 25 write capacity units. Just think of those units as how much work you can do per second. It's more than enough firepower to build and test a pretty serious application without ever touching your wallet.
But hey, you don't even have to go to the cloud to get started. One of the coolest things AWS did was make it super easy to learn and experiment without any pressure at all.
That's right. You can download a version of DynamoDB that runs right on your laptop. You don't even need an AWS account. This is absolutely perfect for development, for running your unit tests, and for just messing around with the NoSQL model without worrying about costs or breaking anything important.
And getting it running is so simple. It's literally 3 steps. 1, it's a Java app, so just make sure you have Java installed. 2, download the DynamoDB file from AWS. And 3, just run the jar file. Boom, you have a local NoSQL database running on your machine. That's it.
Now, here's a key thing to keep in mind. The local version is an amazing tool for getting your hands dirty and learning the ropes. But when it's time to build a real production-grade system, you're going to want to move to the cloud. That's where you unlock the real magic of DynamoDB. The incredible scale, the automatic backups, the high availability, all the stuff AWS manages for you.
Okay, so let's say you've played around with it locally, you're feeling good, and you're ready to take that next step. Let's see just how easy it is to create your very first production-ready table up in the AWS cloud.
And you know what? The process in the cloud is just as straightforward. You just pop into your AWS account, go to the DynamoDB console, and click Create Table. You give your table a name,
define its primary key, and that's the most important decision you'll make, and then you just click Create. In the background, AWS does all the heavy lifting to set it all up for you.
So, what is this primary key, really? It's just the unique ID for every single item you put in the table. Now, unlike in SQL, where keys can get pretty complex, DynamoDB keeps its primary key super simple. It's just a number, a string, or a binary value. And that simplicity, that's the secret sauce. That's what makes it so mind-bogglingly fast at finding your data.
And there you have it. We went all the way from the why of NoSQL to creating your first table in the cloud. If you found this useful, it would be a huge help if you'd hit that like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more explainers just like this one.
So, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. The apps we're all building are evolving faster than ever. They need to be faster, more flexible, and bigger. So take a look at your data strategy. Is it really ready to keep up? Thanks for joining me.